show. Come on into the closet. This is part 2 of the Amok Time special. And I don't know about you, but I'm very excited about this. So we're just going to get going as fast as possible. Really quick though, you've probably noticed this lovely little black mug that I'm holding. I hope, or else you need to get your eyes checked. This is full of water. Nothing else, I promise. And I'm just trying not to get sick, so I have a little bit of a dry throat. So if I take a sip out of this thing, that's about as exciting as the interaction with the mug is going to get. So I'm really hoping you can handle a mug on screen. I know it's crazy, it kind of throws you for a loop, and I'm not going to knock it over, at least I'm going to try not to knock it over. And that's just going to be how this episode plays out. But this is so not about mugs filled with water. This is about things that are much more homoerotic. So let's start talking about that. There's a bit of debate about this scene, and for good reason, because some people say that it was choreographed in the 60s, and so it was pretty damn funny. And other people say that it was choreographed in the 60s, and it was pretty damn funny, and a metaphor for sex. So, a couple of different views. Now, before we actually talk about which one it could be, we're going to look at some highlights of the fight scene so that we can have it all fresh in our heads before we talk about it. To be perfectly rational, which is kind of difficult right now, there's only one thing that really doesn't fit in with this scene as a fight scene, and that's this. You don't have to be a whore or a Kardashian to see that that resembles a sex position. But with that detail aside, there's no other behavior that could be considered only sexual and nothing else. So while there's plenty of physical contact and enough rolling around to make even the straightest of men retreat to their bunks, that is the only thing that really stands out, is the whole Kirk with his leg up on Spock thing. Because Kirk has his leg up on Spock. Kirk, leg, Spock. Just saying. However, there are a few points that I would like to make about this scene. Point number 1. The progression of this fight scene parallels sex in that there's a little contact, a little bit more contact, some ripped clothing, full body contact, and finished. And not every fight scene is structured that way, which is pretty interesting, and I thought it was worth pointing out. Now, point number 2, that Kirk is killed by strangulation, and there are people who say that this strangulation is a symbolic erotic asphyxiation. Now, erotic asphyxiation is the limiting or cutting off of airflow during a sexual act. But could this have really been intended by the author? Could this have been done on purpose? Because, I mean, it's not like whenever anybody's strangled in entertainment, it's like an automatic symbol for erotic asphyxiation. So we would have to know the author a little bit better in order to really determine if this was on purpose or not. But fortunately, I've got some bullet points, and we can get to know this writer a little bit better. So his name is Theodore Sturgeon. He was a science fiction writer, known for having gay subtext in his work. Has written about symbolic erotic asphyxiation in other published works. Also wrote the episode Shore Leave, where Kirk fought a man while smiling and thoroughly enjoying himself, and that's also the episode where the back rub scene takes place. So not only was the writer fully aware of such symbolism, but he had used it before. Do you get where I'm going with this? I mean, I could draw you a picture, but one, well, I can't draw, and two, I'd have to censor it. So there wouldn't really be much point in drawing a picture anyway. You're gonna have to make this leap yourself while I move on. So point number 3 is that when Kirk dies, Spock's Pon farr vanishes. He says this himself in the scene that we're about to talk about next, where McCoy asks him, "Hey, whatever happened between you and T'Pring?" And Spock says, and this is a direct quote, "It must have been the combat. When I thought I'd killed the captain, I had lost all interest in T'Pring. The madness was gone." What? I mean, okay. Pon farr is about have sex or die. Get laid or be vanquished. Push some cushions or push some daisies. And then they show Kirk rolling around with Spock, and then Spock's Pon farr is gone. I mean, in what galaxy is this not gay? There is no galaxy where this isn't gay. This is universally homosexual, or in their case, bisexual. But either way, that implication is a bit, you know, queer. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. But were the characters aware of what was going on? Did they know about the whole erotic asphyxiation thing? Well, no, not really, no. Because, I mean, in entertainment, symbolism is there for the audience to pick up on, but the characters, 9 times out of 10, are completely unaware. So when Spock was choking Kirk, really don't think he was thinking, this is erotic asphyxiation. What I am doing to Kirk is erotic asphyxiation. Boy, I'm enjoying this erotic asphyxiation. We're not given any evidence to think that he was aware of the parallel and the suggestion. But these characters are smart guys. They do know about the situation. They both know that Spock was horny. Spock rolled around with Kirk. Spock thought Kirk was dead. Spock wasn't horny anymore. They both know that. So pretty sure that they could both put 2 and 2 together. So at the end of the day, is this fight scene between Kirk and Spock, could it have been a deliberate implication of sexual release? Yeah,